Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Hump day. This is Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, happy hump day. So, from time to time, I say this. Do me a favor when you're in your office, just look over your shoulder, make sure there's no camel in there. I think that's the craziest commercial, camel walking through an office on hump day. All right. Yeah, good morning, Mela. Hello, JB, TD, Dan, Gregor, Hector, Julie, Ron. Oh, sorry, those are the only names I can see in the chat without scrolling up anyway. Wow. Let's give a big hand to Google, huh? Big hand to Google. Go Google. Google, it's possible Google is the savior here. It's very possible. So as I look at the SPY, I still think we're in a bit of a danger zone. Caution, not danger, the world's coming to an end. But I do think a little bit of danger zone where we've been up now 1, 2, 3. Looks like today's going to be 4 days. I mean, just the fact, the high here, that puts us up. So 4 days, we're approaching the 50-period moving average. You know, what's the easiest direction water can run here? And I'm afraid we're getting to that point where we could see a little consolidation, a little bit of a rest. And that would be a good thing, by the way. I really think that would be a good thing. Because a lot of these great-looking charts that have really just taken off, a little bit of a pullback in the market would pull some of those stocks back to a more palatable entry level. It would also put more stocks into the 3/8 trap, which I personally would like. So I'm actually hoping we pull back a little bit. Qs here are up. Qs were still under the dotted deuce right here. That makes me a little nervous. But I still think, I think truthfully we could probably move this all the way up to the 50 here. There we go. Let's just get rid of that. In that danger zone. So we just want to be careful. Just be a little cautious, that's all. IWM. Had a few people last night email me about IWM. And IWM is trying to put together a relief rally. It's doing a pretty good job. Good candle, good candle, good candle. Let's see what today does. The Trendicator is still red. T-Line is still below the Trendicator. On a positive note, the 3 is above the Trendicator. Here's a good picture of that. There we go, right there. And until we get something that looks like this, where you've got the 3 above the T-Line, T-Line above the Trendicator, Trendicator green. Until we get that, I'm going to be very hesitant on the IWM. But it's trying. I'll give it that. It's trying. I see a little resistance up here, right in this area here, 212, call it 212. So watch that. And then, of course, you got the 50 and the deuces up here that could cause a little bit of trouble. And, of course, we still have a downtrend. So just cautious, just cautious. There are some charts that I kind of like here, looking pretty good. VALE, V-A-L-E. Every time I look at this chart, I get kind of mushy because I haven't traded this as much as I think I should have. Just a couple times, actually. And look at that trend. That trend is just, to me, that trend is fabulous. And I just haven't traded this as much as I should have. Here we're maybe headed up to the 200, and it's 10%. 10% up there. We've got a J-hook set up like this. If we break out, then I do think we'll get that 200 up there. So the breakout is going to be kind of important. We came up through the dotted deuce, back down, tested here. Actually, some pretty sloppy price action, to tell you the truth. A little bit of it's not a perfect bull kicker, but we do have a little bull kicker in here. Great candle yesterday, and it looks like we're opening up pretty well. BYND, what with here, let's go back to market real quick. With this big move down in the market, what that did is it created a lot of possibilities in the pinball setup and the rounded bottom breakout setup. Or another way to put it, it created a lot of possibilities where stocks are down pretty good and now they're starting to rise. And that rise, until we start breaking out of resistance, it's just a relief rally. Or until we break out of a good base and start a trend, it's just a relief rally. But you know, I'll take a 10-12% relief rally any day of the week. And by keeping something like BYND on your watch list, I don't think this is where the real money is. The real money is if we break out. And back up to the 200 period moving average is 43%. So right here on that, which I think we're setting up great right now. We're actually in a rounded bottom breakout now strategy. We just a little bit of resistance here. And if we break that, we will have created a very nice base, a nice foundation. And then from there, I think it would be fun to trade this up until it just doesn't work anymore. And just by following a very simple trend and watching price action just makes this kind of trading really easy. Plug, I'm kind of digging the way Plug is acting here too. Plug has got a Morningstar signal here. The Trendicator has now turned green with those two green dots. This first line right here, this right where I see this resistance, you know, we're talking what, 15% or so up there, and then to, let's see, where is it? There we go. We can extend that up to the 200, something like that. There we, kind of like that. That's about a 28% possible trade in here, but it's going to have to get through that 26. So these are the kind of trades like this that are creating these relief rallies. And if it can take out this $29, $30 area, then you've got some big money up here. But let's just worry about that 28% first, and then we'll worry about what's up here. Anyway, nice price action. You've got this hammer. We came down, we came down below the hammer. Good test. Morningstar up. And like I say, the Trendicator's green, so it's looking good. Here's one thing about it, though. We haven't quite turned yet. So, and what I mean by that is we've got the green dot for the Trendicator. Great. That's fantastic. Price action looks fantastic. But we don't have what I would call a trend quite yet. This is what I want for a trend right here. The three above the T-line above the Trendicator, green Trendicator. When that happens, then we could have something. So let's just, I mean, look how much this thing has been down. For fun, was that pretty close? Just to retest those highs are 84%. And I'm not saying it's going to get there. One thing we do as traders, and I think all of us are guilty of this, is we put a trade on, we make money, and we don't look at it again. Let me go back to this chart. We put a trade on, we come up, we make our 15%, we're happy. You know, maybe we move up a little bit more, we're happy. And we don't bother with it again. We have to go to that new shiny thing. Now I'm not into long-term holding. I'm not thinking that. But what I am thinking is with this kind of, you know, back up here at, what is that, $42. Well, what that does is that allows, assuming it works, okay, that's the big assumption here, is it works, and we know it's going to pull back. Yeah, let's see. I'm not going to do 100 of these. You know, things like this right here. So we know what to look for let's see, does that work? Yeah. We know what to look for in a trending chart. Those rises and those rests. Those rises and those rests. Those rises and the rest. The rising and the rest. So I'm just looking at those red dots and those green dots, the Trendicator there. All I'm trying to point out is just because you shoot this thing from the sky once and you make some money on it, don't give up. Put it on a watch list. If they're working, they're working. Just because you take profits doesn't mean you can't trade it again. Sorry, that was a long time on that one. Whew. Hey, Wells Fargo. Now, I did buy some Wells Fargo yesterday. I bought that. I'm going to look for this, a retest of these highs, and then we'll just simply take it from there. So that's about 5% from here maybe. 5% up. Of course, I'm trading options, so that turns into 10, 12, maybe 15%. That's one of the cool things about options. But low, high, higher low, made a higher high. Great little move today, inside day. I might actually consider adding to it on the inside day right here. So ride. Now we've talked about ride. I believe there's a couple people here in the room that's actually long ride. And this is another one here. Let's take a look at that. We haven't quite turned to that what I would call a complete yeah, Mike there. Mike bought it yesterday. We haven't turned to that trend that I'm looking for. Not that it's the best trend in the world. It's the trend that works for me. But this right here, this is what I want. This is what I would like this to turn into right here. Or even this. Of course, I want it to go higher, but that's exactly what I'm looking for. A little bit of the early stages. There's nothing wrong with early stages, nothing at all. Trendicator is green. T-line's not quite over the Trendicator yet. Price action is fabulous, if you ask me. Low, high, higher low, higher high. Gorgeous, gorgeous, book perfect Morningstar signal in here. Good volume. We get up past 370. That turns it into a rounded bottom breakout. That's the new base right in here. And then there's the reason I like this strategy is there's a high probability that price comes back to its 200 period moving average. That's the whole idea behind this strategy. And good grief, this is another one of those charts where if you make money, don't just give it up. Don't move on to the next shiny thing. Put it on your watch list. Manage it. Watch it. Wait for it to pull back, or wait for it to get back into your entry zone. And this is one of those charts that has that possibility. Hood is just in the news. That's what Hood is here. Great volume. We're starting to turn a little bit. We're close. By golly, we're awfully close, but not quite there. And this one hadn't even been around long enough to give us a good trend up. But Hood has some possibility for a little crazy trading. I think this could be. So 36% just to the 50 period moving average. And if you go through and look at charts, there is a insanely crazy probability that charts will eventually return to their major moving averages. 50 period moving average is one of them. Look, I'm not saying it's going to return there, but it sure is showing the signs of getting there. What more do we want? A bell toll turned bullish engulf with follow through. What else could you possibly ask for in a chart for telegraphing what it might be trying to do? No guarantee it's going to do it, but there is an insanely crazy probability that charts move back to their major moving average. The 50 and the 200 are two that I'm speaking of. Tesla. Let's put some Tesla out there in the news today. Tesla's put in a bottom here at the 200 period moving average. Tesla also has what looks like could be an inverted head and shoulders building. We haven't turned yet. We haven't gone green, but I know there's a lot of early traders looking at it. Here we are, back to that 50 period moving average here. Not bad, not a bad looking chart at all, at least up to here. Now, going forward after that, you know, we've got some things we're going to have to cut through for sure. But off the 200 period moving average, let's watch for the signs. And hey, if it doesn't work, you know, if we start seeing selling, that's what they make shorting for. So anyway, keep an eye on the charts. Be careful with your trading. I do believe we're in a bit of a danger zone, cautious zone. Again, one, because we're up too high, and we do need that consolidation. All right, everybody. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you all being here, and I'll see you back here in about 20 minutes, about the time the market opens, okay? Thank you.